I was born and raised in the Muslim faith. Mum had a pilgrimage to Mecca when I was 3 months old. As I grew older, I moved to Robben Island when I was in my 20s, had a job there. I didn't practice the Muslim faith like my siblings were. Mum was obviously staunch, Dad was too, but I wasn't pressured into anything. I didn't believe in God, I didn't have a relationship with Allah or with God. I just carried on with my life. In 1999, still practicing Muslim faith, still being in the faith, I went to sleep the Friday night. I had no encounter with the Lord. I had absolutely no knowledge about Jesus Christ. Went to sleep as a Muslim, and when I opened my eyes Saturday morning, there was just a word that said, "Today is the day." I knew immediately what it meant. From going from a Muslim person sleeping the Friday night and then being awake in the next morning and just hearing the voice and saying, "Today is the day," and I just said yes and thank you.
In the sun, see your power in the sky.
My mum gave me the name Keyah, and I lived with that name for many years. There's no way that I'm going to stand out there and share my testimony with people and still have a Muslim name attached to me, the new me. I lay down on the bed one Saturday afternoon and I just started scribbling names. I think it was about 3 pages long, but none of the names that I've actually written down felt like it was me. And I just closed the book and I said, "Well, Lord, this is your doing now. It's out of my hands." So the week after, I wake up again. He woke me up and he just said, "Keyah Leigh," and I laid for a bit in the bed and I just smiled and I said, "Thank you, Lord," and I knew that was my name that He wanted me to have. So last year, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. It was a big shock to us. We were alone. We had no family. We had no friends. It was kind of like just us and the Lord. And what I told him was, "I'm not accepting the cancer over your body. I'm not accepting. I stand against it, and we'll pray and we'll get through this with the Lord." My first point of contact is the Lord. What do I do? What do you want me to do, Lord? How do you want me to deal with this? How do I step back? Allow me to step back so that you can step in and take control. I have a son that is 9 years old, and for him to see his dad like this was just, it was traumatic for him, let alone traumatic for me, but I had to maintain the strength and the positiveness in the family and to hold up the family. He kinda was just winding down on Dad's sickness, and the toll started taking him on. And a friend of mine that is a Seventh-day Adventist, she came and she said to me, "Keyah, can I take Adam to Sabbath school on a Saturday?" And I said to her, "That's fine. Maybe you'd like to share a bit about the Seventh-day Adventist with me and how they operate, and do they believe in Jesus and the resurrection, and do they believe in the laying of hands?" And she just smiled at me and she said, "Yes, you don't have to worry." And I said, "Fine." And I know my son was in good hands. Adam came to church with her on a Sabbath morning about 3 or 4 times. And he came home and he said, "Oh, Mum, it was so nice." And I said, "Oh, well, Mum's going to go with you sometime between Dad's well." So April last year, I think Oscar was home at the time, and I decided to come to church one morning. When I stepped into the building, it was just, for me, the way God said, "This is where you need to be. This is where I want you to be." So up until today, I still have that relationship with the Lord, where we can just sit. I can just sit and have a conversation with Him. Like I have a person in the room, and sometimes I do it in the car. I do it when I lay down in bed, when I walk outside, when I hang the washing. I just have that. I know that He's there, and I know that He's listening, and I know that I can speak to Him about anything. My name is Keyah Leigh, and this is my story. I hope to hear your story someday soon.